Good evening. Ira Epstein with your Metal Market Wrap-Up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday, the 7th of February, 2024, 5:50 p.m. Central Time. In the metals, you can see the gold market sitting here very comfortably in the 2050 area. Market's trying to get a little bit of bidding actually coming into it here, some support being seen. The copper market remains weak. It's still waiting on China to do something other than saying that its stock market's up because you can't go short, you can't liquidate what you own, and the state is buying different securities of state-owned company. That will drive the market up, but that's not reality. The platinum market maybe got down cheap enough where it's trying to find itself some support. The never-ending rally in the stock market and the weakness continuing in the Russell, that is still the weakest of the indices. As we take a look at the energy markets, well, we're holding near the $80 area. A lot of movement trying to get something done in Congress in many different areas and everything failing. They can't get an impeachment going on Mayorkas. They can't reach a deal in any manner on how to get money for Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, or the border. Everything seems to fail every which way you look. Anthony Blinken trying to get something done between Israel and Hamas. And as I said, the first step was going to be that Hamas would ask for the world. In other words, everything goes back the way it was. They will run the country. Israel will pull the forces out. And they will agree not to attack them again. At the same time, Israel release many of the prisoners that it has, and of the remaining hostages in step, Hamas would give them back. The 80 that are remaining, they claim now that as many as 50 of the 130 that were known to be held, 50 of them are dead. You know, I know that that is just an opening salvo, and of course, Israel refused that, but that's how negotiations work. At least they're talking. Not directly, but they're talking. So could something happen there? Eventually, but it's not going to be the way that Hamas asked for. You know that. Hamas probably knows that, and we'll see where this all goes. But this is what we're saying. All right. As we take a look at the gold market, again, I do see support at 2014.5 if it's attacked. When we come over and we look at a daily bar chart, it's difficult to make a trade right here. And the reason it is, everything's narrowed in. Do you really see much movement going on? I can make an argument that you have higher lows. I can move that up there and say the higher low, higher high. I'm arguing that support is at the 2047 level. So if the bulls are going to buy, I think that's where they'll buy, and they'll put stops under the 2030 80 area. But that's an awful lot of risk. This pattern's not the best pattern for people to be trading off of. And I'm looking at resistance at 2068.20, which is the upper Bollinger Band. Momentum is just flat in the water. So this has turned into a market that's just drifting sideways. These are the hardest times for traders. They want somebody to always say, buy here, sell there, do this. They're looking for so-called quote-unquote action. There isn't any just yet. When we look at the gold-silver ratio, it continues to favor the gold well over the silver market, and silver market's back down, probably going to hit that lower Bollinger Band, as you can see. Market coming into that support at 22.11. In the copper market, you've broken through, at least in this first move here, the 100-day average again. If it accelerates overnight, then I'd look for the 369 level to be attacked. It's already in deeply oversold territory, but we keep looking at industrial metals, and they're not picking up. They're, if anything, in a downtrend. And the platinum market doing the same. And now it, too, is in oversold territory, very close to its downside targets. So metals difficult. Gold holding relatively well, but that's about it. The other metals are all still very much in bear trends. And the dollar pulling back and challenging right now the 100-day average without a, let me put it this way, without a tradable trend, but certainly the bias has been to the upside. The market up here challenging the 104 area, back under it tonight, but that doesn't mean that the market isn't in an area where you've got to just say, okay, what next in it? And it's difficult. So you put that together, what do you have tomorrow? Well, when I look at everything, you got jobless claims at 7 in the morning. I don't know what that's going to show other than their market is looking for them at 220,000. We're going to again hear from Secretary of the Treasury Yellen. She'll be before the U.S. Senate Committee on Financial Stability, probably talking about commercial real estate. U.S. December wholesale inventories will be updated Thursday at 9 in the morning. We get the EIA natural gas. You know, you crack $2 in natural gas, so that's an important number. In other words, just a real lot of it. And I haven't heard any more of the hearings on the natural gas. Did they end? I can't hear anything. It all gets lost because so much is going on in Congress at this time. And one last thing happened. The Federal Reserve released U.S. consumer credit, and the headline recap was interesting. The market was looking again for a swell in the number. They didn't get it. Only up 1.6 billion. They were looking for a 14 billion. So what does that mean? Is the consumer tapped out? Is he through buying for the Christmas season? That's my guess. You had the surge of buying, and now it's just back to the norm and not a lot of things that they're doing at this point in time. I don't know if I'm right on that, but that is my guess on it. So when you get this kind of quiet market, what comes into play for me immediately are pivot points. You even know what they are? A pivot point looks at a previous day's range, and via a formula that I teach in a 3-part video series, and it's a very popular tool, it looks for a center line and then sell lines above that number, buy lines under it. Some people use it to figure out a better entry on position trades, but most of the time, it's all about day trading, trying to sell into the resistance points, cover at the mean right through here, or buying on the breaks. And what I try to do is teach you how you can use it with momentum, which a lot of people don't do. They don't understand that you can apply a stochastic to this. It'll apply to a 15-minute bar chart, and away you go with it. And that's the type of chart that I teach with the pivot point, 15 minutes. So if you'd like to learn this neat technique, and it is neat, all you need to do is go to our website under free offers, move your cursor up to the top here. You'll see an icon. It'll take you there. Go to the pivot points, ask for it. Just fill out the form online. We'll get it to you. I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.